Okay, so in this section, let's take a look into how we can create traffic lights and pedestrian road crossings. Right, so as usual, first let's take a duplicate from map showcase, but I would prefer do some modification to this map showcase level, because since we're going to duplicate it multiple different times, it's better if we have some generic content, right? So let's just say I don't need these mannequins, and also I can implement the managers, level manager, TOD manager, and weather manager. Then I can get rid of this content. Okay, and maybe the TOD manager time could be 10, disable day night cycle. Right, now let's take a duplicate from this level. Now I'm going to call this one as map underscore. Let's just say traffic lights and pedestrian crossings. Okay, right, so within this level, let's first prototype our traffic light, and then let's take a look at the pedestrian crossing, and after that let's see how we can apply that into the composite road network. Right, so first I'm gonna go to the blueprints procedural roads directory. There, let's create a new folder called traffic lights. There I'm gonna create a new blueprint called traffic light, and open that up. Right, so here as the traffic light mesh, we can use the mesh provided at the PRS Essentials direct content pack. So if you go to the PRS Essentials, there is a directory called meshes, and over there we have traffic lights, and there I can use this one, SM traffic light, or else I can use this highway traffic light. Okay, so I'm going to use this traffic light, and later on if you required, you can integrate this traffic light as well. Okay, so let's use this one. And here also you can see it has a pole and also the traffic lights with 3 different light segments to implement red light and green light and the yellow light. Okay, now at our active BP traffic light, I'm gonna have a static mesh, and the static mesh, let's implement this one, which is SM highway traffic light. Okay, maybe also I will add an arrow component as well, just for the visualization purposes of our forward vector of the act. Right, now we got our traffic light and the lights are there. Right, now I need a way to actually control the state of the traffic light, which means let's just say if the traffic light says red, then only the red light should be triggered, or else if the state is yellow, only the yellow light should be triggered. So let's see how we can do those stuff, but first we need to create an enumeration to define those states. So let's go to the data, enums, procedural road, and I'm gonna create a new folder called traffic light, and there let's create an enumeration called e underscore traffic light state. Open that up, and we have 3 states. which is red for stop vehicles, and we have yellow, which is either caution or prepare to stop. And then we have green, which specify go if clear. Okay, then at the traffic light I'm going to create a new variable called state, and let's use traffic light state enumeration over there. It has a public variable, send it to category called setup. Right, then we should be able to set the lights. So we can do that. Yeah, for that let's create a function called set lights, and then we have to give what are the individual colors of these three lights. So we have three lights, we have to control the individual state of all of these lights. So for that I will add an input called L1 color, which is stand for light 1 color, which is a linear color. Likewise we need two of them for L2 color and L3 color. Also we should be able to control the emission level of the light as well. So let's give L1 emission, which is a float value. Similarly we need L2 emission and L3 emission. Compile, save. Now we need to access the light materials. So how we can do that? Well, if you look at the hierarchy, and if you are using this static mesh, according to the hierarchy, material hierarchy, element 2, 3 and 4 are the one that implements the lights, right? So we can use these indexes to create some dynamic channels for the material instances. And after that, if you go and check out the material, here you can see we can use the base color material parameter to control the color of the light, and we can use the emission scalar parameter to control the emission level of the light. Okay, right. So over here I'm gonna add the sequence first, and then let's take the static mesh and create dynamic material instance on the element index 3, and as the source material we have to get the material on the third element. Okay, then we can promote this to maybe maybe we can actually create a function as well, that's also fine. But yeah, let's keep everything simple for now. So I'm going to create a local variable called L underscore. No, maybe it's better if we created maybe let's create a macro. I'm gonna create and collapse to a macro and call this one as m underscore set, or let's just say configure light. Then here we have the static mesh, and then we can take this dynamic material instance reference and set vector parameter value. And for the light, the vector parameter value is base color. And let's parameterize this one called light color. And let's take another line from dynamic material instance and set the scalar parameter value to control the emission state of the light, which is emission. So make sure these parameter names match exactly as it is, otherwise the changes may not be applied for the material. And let's parameterize this value. And this is emission. And after that, we can return the output pin. Right, let's go to the function, and here let's set 3 sequences. So here we have L1 color and L1 emission. Duplicate it 2 more times, plug it to here, and then this is L2 color and this is L2 emission. Similarly, this is L3 color and L3 emission. Compile, save. Right, now I should be able to control the light colors. So for that, what I can do is at the construction script, maybe let's call this function compile. Now if you go to the viewport, you can see only the first element has got darker. I think I know the issue. So at the m configure light macro, make sure to parameterize this element index as well. Because there are 3 channels specifically for modifying the lights. Now at here, the first element index is 3, this is 4 and 5. Because if you remember, if you check out the static mesh for the traffic light, here you can see sorry, actually 2, 3 and 4 are the one that implements those channels. Okay, so maybe let's call this one as 2, 3 and 4. That's the element index order. Right, now if you go to the viewport, you can see all of them has become darker. And at the construction script, maybe let's try to give some white color to L1. So you can see L1 has become white. Maybe emission is 1 also. So you can see it has become brighter. And L2 color may be some red color with emission 1. So you can see actually the third light is the one got that color, which means we have to change the priority order. Yeah, maybe let's make this one as 4 and this one is 2 and this one is 3. So now this order is correct. maybe let's just say let's use 3 colors first. Okay, then I can properly configure these stuff. So usually the top one should be red, middle one should be maybe yellow, and the bottom one should be green. So just for time being, I'll give emission for all of them. And if you go to the viewport, you can see now order is not correct, right? So the green one should be at the bottom, which means the 4 should be added to here. 3, 2, 4. No. About 2. Yeah, the last one should be 2, and this one should be, I guess, 3. Okay, 3, which means this should be 4. No, maybe this is 3 and this is 4. Right, now the order is correct. So the first element is 3, which is red color, and the second element is 4, which is yellow color, and the third element is 2, which is green color. Right, now I can control the individual light properly. Then let's create 3 states separately, because traffic light usually have 3 states. It could be either go, it could be either caution, or it could be either stop. So I need to control those stuff separately. Let's create 3 different events. So first I will add a state called go. And at the go, what it should do is it should set the light like this. Let's just say L1 color, I will give some green color like gray color like this. Also the L2 color should be gray, and L3 color should be have some green color. The emission levels, let's just say L3 has some emission, and the state also should be change it to the green. Okay, and similarly let's create another custom event called caution. Duplicate these two, plug it like this, and L3 should be having some yellow color, and L3 should have this gray color. Also the second should have an emission, third should not have any emission, state should be yellow. And finally we have caution, stop. Which has the red color on top and gray color for second and third. And the emission also should be 1, 0 and 0. State should be gray. Okay, so now we can individually control the lights. Plus I would prefer having some event dispatcher call, because later on we are going to use this traffic light alongside the pedestrian crossing. So it is better if we can notify the state changes of the traffic light to the other actors as well. So in order to achieve that, let's create an event dispatcher as well, call on traffic light state changed. So here we should consume an input which is state, the type of traffic light state. Call it like this. Connect the state and connect all of them like this. Okay, maybe let's collapse these nodes and call this one as traffic light states. Right, now at the construction script, let's just say no, let's just simply call or maybe we can call the state and switch it accordingly. And let's just say if it is red, we should call the stop event. If it is yellow, we should call caution. If it is green, we should call go. Compile, save. Now at the viewport, let's just say if I change the state into the yellow, you can see the light has changed to yellow. If I change it to go, you can see the light has been changed to go. Right, now I think we can control the state of the traffic light, which is fine. Okay, so in the next tutorial, let's see how we can control the operation mode of the traffic lights, because sometimes the traffic light may turned off, maybe they are on repair mode, or maybe they are on active state. So likewise, there can be having multiple different types of operation modes for the traffic lights. So in the next tutorial, let's see how we can add those changes.